Welcome to Compass Opioid Stewardship in Practice. Each week, our Compass coaches will explore a real-world case, define a clinical goal, and walk through practical strategies to improve care. Whether you're tuning in via video, audio, or reading the summary, this session is built for busy clinicians like you. Enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Susan Bradley, and I'm a clinical pharmacist and coach in the Compass Opioid Stewardship Program. This week's case is about a patient currently prescribed OxyContin 40 milligrams every 12 hours and hydrocodone acetaminophen 10-325 milligrams, 2 tablets 3 times daily, totaling approximately 180 MMEs per day. The patient, John, is being considered for a transition to buprenorphine for chronic pain management using a standard rotation approach. We'll walk through the clinical reasoning, dosing strategy, and the transition protocol. Our clinical goal is to safely transition a high MME chronic pain patient from full opioid agonist to buprenorphine, a partial agonist, using a standard rotation method that minimizes withdrawal symptoms and supports effective pain control. Buprenorphine is safer than OxyContin and hydrocodone because it has a ceiling effect on respiratory depression, reducing overdose risk, and stabilizes opioid receptors without producing the same level of euphoria or sedation. To achieve our goal, we'll estimate a 30-to-1 conversion ratio, where 1 milligram of buprenorphine is roughly equivalent to 30 milligrams of morphine, meaning this patient would require approximately 6 milligrams of sublingual buprenorphine daily with their 180 MME current regimen. For pain management, multiple daily doses are essential. When treating opioid use disorder, 1 daily dose is sufficient to suppress cravings, but buprenorphine works best in frequent doses for pain control. For this patient, we would recommend 2 milligrams 3 times daily using Suboxone films. The patient could also use Subutex tablets if that was their preference, but the films tend to be a little bit easier when making dosing adjustments during the conversion period because you can easily cut them into 1/2 or 1/4 films. In this case, we are using Suboxone off-label as the patient's MME of 180 is higher than what is recommended for starting Butrans or Belbuca, which are labeled for pain. So we're going to use the products that are labeled for addiction off-label for treating pain. So standard rotation protocol. Day 0 is going to be our pre-transition day. We begin by discontinuing long-acting opioids at least 24 hours prior to starting buprenorphine. The patient takes their final dose of OxyContin in the morning. Throughout the day, they continue short-acting hydrocodone and acetaminophen to manage symptoms. Short-acting opioids are discontinued at least 12 hours prior to conversion. The last hydrocodone dose is therefore taken in the evening. This sets the stage for withdrawal to begin overnight, which is necessary for safe buprenorphine initiation when using a standard approach. Day 1 is our initiation day. The key here is timing. We wait until the patient is in moderate to severe withdrawal, typically 12 or more hours after their last hydrocodone dose, and they can self-assess using the Subjective Opioid Withdrawal Scale, or SOWS. Once withdrawal is confirmed, we start low, 1 milligram buprenorphine, or half of a 2 milligram film. If symptoms persist after an hour, they can take another 1 milligram, repeating as needed up to 4 total milligrams for the day. Day 2 is our stabilization day. Upon waking, the patient would take the total dose they needed on day 1 as 1 dose. If symptoms flare, they can add up to 2 more 1 milligram doses with a maximum of 6 milligrams for the day. This helps fine-tune symptom control while avoiding over-medication. Day 3 is structured dosing. Now we split the day 2 dose into 3 doses of 2 milligrams 3 times a day to maintain steady coverage. The patient should call the office to report how they're feeling and how the dosing is working. Based on the feedback, the clinical team may adjust the plan. And we have included the detailed transition plan for you within the summary of this session. Supportive care. We want to ask the patient what symptoms they usually experience when they miss a dose or are late taking it and anticipate those symptoms occurring. Prescribe ondansetron or Zofran for nausea and vomiting, and any other symptomatic treatments that may be indicated based on their patient's specific withdrawal symptoms. The Compass Opioid Stewardship Program provides clinical protocols, dosing calculation support through our pharmacists, and patient education tools to help guide transitions like this. For personalized technical assistance, please reach out to your clinical coach to schedule a coaching session. Lastly, we'll end with some clinical pearls. The clinical pearls we want you to remember are: the buprenorphine conversion can be estimated using a 30-to-1 conversion ratio. We want to anticipate withdrawal symptoms and get ahead of them when converting our patients. And we want to hold long-acting opioids for at least 24 hours and short-acting opioids for at least 12 hours prior to starting buprenorphine when using a standard rotation. Thank you.
This show has been brought to you through the generous support of the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services. Thanks for joining this week's Compass Opioid Stewardship in Practice. Thank you for being part of the Compass Opioid Stewardship Program, and thank you for all you do caring for your patients. See you next time.